What if I told you that right now, as you watch this video, you're part of one of the most ambitious language revival experiments in human history? And the shocking part is, you probably don't even realize it. Every time you open Google Translate, ask Siri a question in your native language, or use predictive text on your phone, you're benefiting from decades of effort to resurrect languages that were once thought completely dead. But here's the part that will blow your mind. Some of these so-called dead languages are more alive today than they've been in centuries, and quietly they're revolutionizing how we communicate in the digital age. Today, we're diving deep into the world of lost languages and the incredible, sometimes obsessive, often heartbreaking efforts to bring them back to life. We'll meet linguistic archaeologists who dedicated decades deciphering ancient scripts, computer scientists teaching machines to speak forgotten tongues, and entire communities that refuse to let their ancestors' voices fade into silence. By the end of this journey, you'll never look at language the same way again. Let us start with a mystery that stumped scholars for over a century and changed how we think about human communication itself. Picture this. It's 1900. Archaeologist Arthur Evans stands in the ruins of an ancient palace in Crete, holding clay tablets covered in mysterious symbols. These aren't hieroglyphs. They aren't cuneiform. They are something entirely different, something that would become known as Linear B. For 50 years, nobody could crack the code. The tablets sat in museums, silently mocking linguists and archaeologists who tried everything to understand them. Some believed it was an ancient form of Greek. Others thought it was a completely unknown language. Careers were built and destroyed trying to solve the puzzle. Then, in 1952, a young British architect named Michael Ventris did the extraordinary. He wasn't a professional linguist, but he had been obsessed with these symbols since the age of 14. Ventris approached the problem like a cryptographer, not a traditional scholar. He tracked symbol frequencies, mapped patterns, and studied every detail others had overlooked. And then, in a moment that must have felt like pure magic, he realized the truth. These symbols weren't random, they were syllables. When he started reading them as Greek syllables, the tablets began to speak. What they revealed changed everything we thought we knew about ancient Greek civilization. These weren't just grocery lists or tax records. They were detailed inventories of weapons and livestock, records of religious ceremonies, and insights into Mycenaean Greek culture from over 3,000 years ago. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Ventris' breakthrough didn't just unlock an ancient language. It pioneered techniques that now form the foundation of modern AI. Pattern recognition, statistical analysis, systematic decoding. These same principles underpin the machine learning algorithms that power our devices today. Every time your phone autocorrects a text or Google Translate converts English into Mandarin, it's using evolved versions of Ventris's methods. The man who solved an ancient mystery accidentally laid the groundwork for how machines would learn to understand human language decades later. Now, let's fast forward to the 1960s and meet a man who took language revival to a whole new level, Yitzhak Avineri. Avineri played a pivotal role in one of the most successful language revival projects in history, the resurrection of Hebrew. Here's something you might not know. Before the late 1800s, Hebrew was essentially a dead language. It was used for religious ceremonies and scholarly texts, but nobody spoke it at home. Nobody used it to chat with neighbors or order coffee. It was like Latin, respected, but not alive. Then something unprecedented happened. A small group of passionate linguists, led by Eliezer ben Yehuda and later supported by Avineri, decided to do the impossible. Bring Hebrew back to life as a living, everyday language. The challenges were staggering. How do you create words for modern concepts when your language last evolved centuries ago? How do you say telephone or bicycle in biblical Hebrew? How do you convince people to abandon the language they grew up speaking and embrace one their ancestors might have prayed in, but never used in daily life? The Hebrew Revival team became true linguistic innovators. They borrowed from related languages, invented new words from ancient roots, and sometimes created entirely new concepts. They established Hebrew-speaking households, schools, newspapers, and theaters. Essentially, they conducted a massive social experiment. Could a language be resurrected through dedication, innovation, and sheer will? The answer? Yes. Today, over 9 million people speak Hebrew as their primary language. It's the official language of Israel, taught worldwide, and constantly evolving with new slang, expressions, and ways of capturing modern life. But the Hebrew Revival achieved something even more important. It proved language death isn't inevitable, showing that communities can reclaim their linguistic destiny. And now, some of the most technologically advanced language revival efforts are happening, and you've probably interacted with them without even realizing it. Deep inside the labs of Google, Microsoft, and other tech giants, researchers are working on computational linguistics for endangered languages, using AI to revive languages with fewer than 100 speakers left. Here's how it works, and it's mind-blowing. They feed whatever recordings exist, maybe a few hours of stories told by an elder, into machine learning algorithms. The AI studies grammar, syntax, and sound patterns, and then it can generate new content in the language. Imagine speaking with an AI in your great-grandmother's language, a language that otherwise might have been lost forever. Children can learn their ancestral tongue from a computer trained on the last native speaker's knowledge. This is not science fiction. It's happening right now. The Maori revival in New Zealand, the Cherokee Nation in the US, Hawaiian language projects. They all using AI-powered tools to teach pronunciation and grammar in ways that were impossible just a decade ago. And then there's Latin, a language dead for over 1,000 years. Spoken Latin, the language of Roman markets, mothers, and children? Long gone. Now, computational linguists are bringing it back. AI generates spoken Latin that sounds authentic, translates modern concepts into classical Latin, and even allows virtual reality experiences where you can walk ancient Roman streets and converse with AI-powered historical figures. These projects are not just preserving language, they're making it alive, immersive, and accessible. Students can practice Latin with AI tutors that never tire, never lose patience, and adapt to each learner. And here is the connection you probably didn't expect. These same AI technologies are improving all of our communication. Grammar checkers, translation apps, voice recognition, all are informed by technologies developed for endangered languages. In other words, the fight to save dying languages has quietly revolutionized how billions of people communicate today. But it's not just about technology. Some of the most inspiring revivals are community-driven. In Wales, once banned Welsh is thriving. TV shows, schools, and public life celebrate the language. Irish Gaelic in Ireland, Catalan in Spain, and dozens of indigenous languages across North and South America are experiencing similar renaissances. These aren't just cultural victories. They're acts of resistance, identity, and preservation of entire ways of thinking. Because when a language dies, we lose more than words. We lose unique ways of understanding the world, relationships, and human experience. Some languages have dozens of words for snow. Others require speakers to acknowledge sources of information in every sentence. When languages vanish, these perspectives vanish with them. Reviving them restores cognitive diversity, creativity, and resilience. Languages once considered dead are spoken again. Scripts once undecipherable are read. Stories silent for generations are told. The impact goes far beyond local communities. Better translation software, smarter voice recognition, improved writing tools, and deeper understanding of human communication. Communities reclaim their heritage. Technology amplifies human creativity. Next time you use a voice assistant, remember, it learned to understand you partly through efforts to decode ancient clay tablets. Next time Google Translate bridges a language gap, remember, Its algorithms were shaped by endangered language research. We are living in an era where cutting-edge technology and ancient heritage converge, creating new possibilities for communication, learning, and cultural preservation. The fight to save lost languages isn't just about the past. It's about building a linguistically diverse, cognitively rich future. So what about you? Are you inspired to explore your linguistic heritage? Have you seen language revival in your community? Here is a challenge. Discover the languages spoken in your area before the dominant one arrived. You might be surprised. If this journey into lost languages fascinated you, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me which language you'd love to see revived, or share family stories of languages lost or preserved across generations. Your stories make this community special. Until next time, keep exploring the incredible ways our past shapes our future.